There's a 70%, no, let's be precise instead. In any parking lot with 30 cars, statistics say 2 or 3 of them belong to a millionaire. 1 in 11 American adults clears 7 figures right now. You could not pick them out if your life depended on it. You're at a red light, leased German SUV on your left, temp plates still on, faded Honda on your right, a dent in the door nobody fixed. You judge both drivers before the light turns green. You're wrong almost every time. Income is loud. Wealth is quiet. I learned that financing a car I couldn't afford in my 20s, just so coworkers would glance over and think I'd made it. Walked away from that decision, $14,200 in credit card debt. It took me 4 years to dig out of a 20-minute mistake. There are 10 signs. The first 9 are habits these people killed off. The 10th is the one thing they started doing on purpose, and it's the only one that actually builds the number. Stick around for that one. Sign 1 is sitting in the driveway. My friend Derek signed up for a $770 monthly payment last spring like it was a Netflix subscription. A lot of financial independence guides use a simple rule. Spend around 1% of your net worth on a car. On $2 million, that's a $20,000 vehicle. Bought lightly used, driven for a decade. The faded paint on that Honda isn't struggle. It's proof someone already ran the math. Sign 2 happens at the bank before the house is even theirs. A lender approves the maximum your income can carry. The wealthy take that number and buy underneath it. A 4,000 square foot house costs more to heat in January, more to insure every year, more to furnish for rooms you walk through twice a week. There's a specific exhaustion that comes from being house rich on paper while your checking account runs on fumes, all to impress neighbors too busy with their own mortgage to notice your lawn. The third sign is what they're wearing right now, sitting across from you. No logos. The same coat for 6 winters. The loudest brand in any room usually belongs to someone still trying to convince everyone, including themselves, of a status they haven't reached yet. That's the easy one to spot. The next one happens out loud, at the dinner table. Sign 4. They go quiet the second money comes up. No narrating what the flight cost. For people who've actually built something, money stopped being exciting years ago. It became plumbing. Nobody throws a party because the pipes work today. Now here's where it actually gets expensive to ignore. Sign 5. Carry a balance at 22% interest, and the math roughly doubles the cost of whatever you bought in just over 3 years. Buy a $1,000 couch, ignore a few statements, and you've paid for 2 couches while sitting on one. That $14,200 hole I dug for myself in my 20s, a meaningful chunk of it was exactly that kind of invisible math, one ignored statement at a time. The wealthy use credit constantly, chasing points and cash back, then erase the balance before a cent of interest attaches. Same card, completely different relationship with the due date. Here's where it stops being about what they spend and starts being about what they never see in the first place. Sign 6 is the one that actually saves you from yourself, and it's completely invisible. A fixed slice of every paycheck leaves before rent, before groceries, before anything else gets a vote. What that automation actually buys you isn't growth, it's relief. Relief from your own worst impulses on a Friday night when a sale email lands and your guard is down. I needed that system in my 20s more than another spreadsheet. I just didn't have it yet. Sign 7 shows up the day something breaks. Discipline doesn't mean nothing goes wrong. The water heater still floods at 2 in the morning. The difference is what happens in your chest 30 seconds later, because $20,000 sitting at a traditional megabank earns roughly $2 a year. The same $20,000 in a high-yield account earns roughly $800. Same balance, same emergency. One version of it already paid for itself before the plumber even showed up. Sign 8 looks like a waste of money standing at the register. My uncle bought one cast iron pan 30 years ago instead of the non-stick set that needed replacing every 2 years. He's still cooking on it. He spent less in 3 decades than my friends spend in 3 years replacing deals from Amazon that warp after 10 uses. Sign 9 is harder to admit than any number on this list. I used to say yes to every destination bachelor party because I was terrified of looking broke in front of guys I barely kept in touch with. 2 years into digging out of that $14,200 hole, I still flew to Nashville for a weekend and none of us needed, charged it to the same card I was trying to pay down, and set myself back another 3 months. The wealthy have made peace with no. The group dinner that doesn't fit the week gets declined. No guilty paragraph attached. Life goes on exactly the same. And sign 10, the one I told you to wait for. At some point, they stop trying to look rich entirely. Because performing wealth is exhausting. The right car, the right vacation photos, the right answer at a barbecue when someone asks how work's going. That's a second unpaid job stacked on the first one. They quietly quit it. What's underneath is the actual point. Walking away from a toxic job without panicking about rent. An ordinary Tuesday off taken without asking permission. The hum of money anxiety that follows most people their whole lives finally goes quiet. It's not easy driving the oldest car in the lot. Your ego takes a hit some mornings, especially when someone from high school pulls up next to you in something new. But the bank statement makes up the difference every time, even on the days your ego won't cooperate. So go back to that red light. Leased German SUV on your left, rented down to the wheels. Faded Honda on your right, paid off, going exactly where its owner wants to go. You already know which one the bank statement loves. The car was never the signal. The silence was.